Sheamus is like, you never pinned me, fella. Why don't we have another fight? 'Cause you never pinned me, folly doder. Hello there and welcome to How WWE Should Have Booked, where I look back at infamous WWE missed booking opportunities and talk about how I would book them differently because I'm a smartass. This week, someone's gonna get their ass kicked, someone's gonna get their wig split. What does that mean? This week we're looking at Mark Henry's Hall of Pain run, when Sexual Chocolate went mental and started breaking everybody's legs. It was a weird, about 8-month run where Mark Henry, who'd sort of always just been hanging around, he decided, you know what, I'm gonna be a badass for a bit, and he hospitalized Big Show, he hospitalized Kane, Kozlov, the Great Khali, these are all wonderful things. He slammed Sheamus through a barricade and beat Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions, and everyone was like, Mark, Jesus, have you been here the whole time? And he was like, that's what I do! And we were like, we like what you do. That's great, is there any more of it? Then at Hell in a Cell, he retained the championship against Randy Orton. Good start. Then Big Show came back and they sort of ripped off the Brock Lesnar collapsing the ring thing for Vengeance, which was a bit meh. Then at Survivor Series, Mark Henry got himself DQ'd on purpose. Then at TLC, Big Show beat him in a chairs match. At which point Daniel Bryan cashed in on him. And then there was a triple threat at Royal Rumble, which Mark Henry didn't really seem like he had much chance in. Then Mark Henry didn't even perform at Elimination Chamber, and then he was in that awful Teddy versus Johnny match at WrestleMania. He sort of blended into the background, and then he went away for about 9 months. And I can do it better. So before we start, we've got to look at what is powering this whole run. You know, it needs a reason for being. Mark Henry isn't just suddenly going, you know what, I'm going to start killing people today. He should have a reason for it. And I want to try and blend an angle with reality. So, and also before we start, basically the whole thing ended with Mark Henry being injured for 9 months. So it's tricky. Tell you what, I'm just going to say I've got money in the bank till WrestleMania. That's how long this run's going to be. We're making that the arbitrary cutoff point. So, if we're starting before Money in the Bank, we take Mark Henry off TV for a few weeks. Why? Well, no one really knows for sure. They just say medical reasons. And we see photographs of him in a hospital, not backstage segments of him talking to a fake doctor. No, real photographs of him in bed being treated at a real hospital. And he's tweeting, thank you so much for your support. It helps me get through this, Then before Mark Henry comes back to Raw, he tweets he's got some sad news. He comes back, goes straight for the main event, tears it apart, starts tearing the house down. The Big Show's in this main event. He attacks the Big Show, slams him through the announce table, and takes to the microphone and says, I am coming for the World Heavyweight title. I haven't got a lot of time left. And everyone's like, whoa, what? So in a sit-down interview the next week, it's revealed that Mark Henry has been given a limited time to compete by his doctors. They basically say he's got probably less than a year of active competition in him because of the build-up of injuries and his really, really, really long career. Basically, he's beaten up and he's only got a limited run left. So this lights a fire under Mark Henry, and he's like, I have no time to waste. I am going to take what I've never had, and that is a proper World Championship run. ECW Championship. Bleh. So in this interview, Cole asks him, so is this about your legacy? Is this about the Hall of Fame? At which point Mark Henry responds, no, it's about the Hall of Pain. Pushes over Michael Cole and leaves. Next Raw, it's a #1 contenders triple threat for the belt. It's Mark Henry versus Christian versus Sheamus. This match happened in real life, and the Big Show, like in real life, ruins it for Mark Henry because Mark Henry attacked him. Mark Henry goes mental at this because you're ruining one of my last shots at the title. So they have a match, Big Show at Mark Henry for Money in the Bank. And Mark does what he does. He destroys the Big Show and breaks his ankle. He puts it in a chair, jumps from the turnbuckle, crushes it. That's what I do, etc. So the next Raw, Mark Henry is told you can't have another title shot, so he goes mad and starts inducting people into the Hall of Pain, left, right, and center. Kane, Kozlov, Carly. Every single week, he goes around decimating superstars. And he tries it on Sheamus, and Sheamus is the only one that manages to get away. He's like, no way, fella. And they have a match at SummerSlam, which ends up like it did in real life, but with one exception. Basically, Mark Henry slams Sheamus through the barricade, like they did, but unfortunately, both men get counted out. Mark Henry doesn't win this match. Both men get counted out. It looks like Mark Henry's hurt himself as much as he's hurt Sheamus. He has to be helped to the back, and with his medical worries, people are like, ooh, what's happening with Mark Henry, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. So the next night on Raw, Mark Henry comes out to interrupt the World Heavyweight Champion, be that Randy Orton, a la real life, or Christian, like in my How I Should Have Booked Christian's Run video. Watch that, watch all my videos, send me presents. So Mark Henry comes out in a pink jacket. He hangs up his boots and he does a retirement promo. Now, you will have known that this happened in real life, and it's one of the best things, if not the best thing, Mark Henry ever did in his career. Seriously, it's amazing. He cried. He told his family he was coming home. He fooled everyone into chanting, "Thank you, Henry," and one more match. Everyone was fooled that Mark Henry was really going to retire. So we pull this here, because in 2013, when this happened, they didn't capitalize on it in any single way. All that happened was Cena beat Mark Henry, and then it was just remembered as the one really good bit from that build-up. No, we take that and we put it here. We talk about Mark's medical issues. You know, he tweets that he's got a big announcement, and he comes out and does a retirement thing, and we're going to follow up on it. So he does the retirement spiel, you know, gets everyone chanting alongside, gets the champion to sort of pay him respect. Boom, swerve, slams him, world's strongest slam. Then Mark Henry takes a chair, pops it underneath the champion, jumps from the turnbuckle onto him, cracking the champion's ribs, and says, "I'll see you at Night of Champions." So yeah, we keep the promo pretty much intact, because after all, it's one of the best kind of mixes of fiction and reality that has been seen since CM Punk's pipe bomb. Seriously, watch the promo. It's that good. So at Night of Champions, the champion, whoever he is, has cracked ribs, and Mark Henry steamrolls over him to win his first ever World Heavyweight Championship. He holds it up and says, "That's what I do," etc. So then we've got the momentum from the amazing promo and a big win, so Mark Henry is proper over by now. So hopefully now the fans are really behind Mark Henry as a heel, but he's super over because of this amazing promo and also this huge win. It seems like the company are committed to him in a big way, and that gets people excited about Mark Henry. Then the Big Show comes back, and I'm giving you one match, Big Show. One. Alright? You're a slow dude and you can't afford to slow Mark Henry down. So I'll give you one match because of the whole ankle breaking thing at Vengeance, but you don't do the Brock Lesnar spot because that cheapens it. And you know, it doesn't add anything. People know we've seen this spot already before. It just makes the first one look even more fake, which is a shame. So at Vengeance, Mark Henry takes the Big Show, slams him once, slams him twice, slams him 3 times. 1, 2, 3. He retains the championship clean. And he's like, "That's what I do." He holds the belt over his head, takes a microphone and says, "From my cold, dead hands." Drops the mic. Awesome. So then Mark focuses on putting more people in the Hall of Pain. Kofi Kingston, he's just about to crush him when Sheamus comes out and says, "Remember me, fella? You never beat me, fella, boy, fella. Let's have a fight." So at Survivor Series, it's Sheamus versus Mark Henry in a cage match. Sheamus is about to climb over the top because Mark Henry just can't put Sheamus down. Mark Henry's starting to seem a bit desperate, a bit paranoid that he's going to lose the championship. He's sort of like, this is my life's work. I'm not ready for it to end. Sheamus starts to climb the cage. Mark can't climb up after him. So what he does is he's desperate. He grabs the side of the cage, shouts, "That's what I do," and tears the cage wall down. Either pushes it down or pulls it into the ring and then climbs out through the ropes, having destroyed this metal cage. And everyone's like, "Oh my days." So, he's still the champion, but Sheamus is like, "You never pinned me, fella. Why don't we have another fight? 'Cause you never pinned me, fully doder." I think I'm losing my mind. So yeah, Mark Henry retains at Survivor Series, but you can see he's hurt. You can see he's running on fumes. Sheamus and him have another match at TLC, but this time the doctors tell Mark not to do it. "Mark, you are coming to the end of your run. You're pushing yourself too far to keep hold of this championship. Don't do it. Mark, you can barely remain standing. Right? So, instead of a chairs match, which is rubbish, Sheamus and Mark Henry have a last man standing match. And Mark Henry gives it his all, but you can tell he's in a bad way. He keeps getting up though. He gets up bro kick. He gets up at 9. Bro kick. He gets up at 9. Sheamus can't put him down. And this is starting to very slowly turn Mark Henry face because, big momentum. It's like he's got something that he's had coming to him but has never had over his career. And also he's doing all these amazing feats of power. So the fans are really starting to get behind him. So during this match, he very slowly turns babyface at the fact that he won't stay down. Then Sheamus takes him, puts him on the top turnbuckle, and looks like he's going to superplex him when Mark Henry picks up Sheamus on the top turnbuckle and world's strongest slams, bang, into the middle of the ring. They jump from the turnbuckle into the ring, and the ring caves in. It doesn't collapse. It doesn't collapse like the Brock Lesnar thing, but it caves in like at No Way Out 2000. Mick Foley landed, big crater. So it caves the ring in. The two men fly, smash. And then they both don't answer the count of 10. And it's really obvious that Mark Henry's hurt. Okay? It's like everyone is like, oh God, no. The referee calls to the back. Possibly do that. I mean, you don't want to cheapen that gesture, okay? Because that means something seriously wrong. So maybe not do that. But something along those lines. Anyway, the EMTs come out and Sheamus is led away. And they're dealing with Mark Henry when suddenly you hear this music. Out comes Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan clears the EMTs out of the way and tells the ref he's cashing in. The ref is like, I really don't want to do this. Everyone's like, wow, dick move. But Bryan forces it, cashes in, just lies on top of Mark Henry's prone body. 1, 2, 3, celebrates with the championship. Yes, 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 yes. Ugh. So TLC is over, and Mark Henry, we don't see him for another month. Then Royal Rumble comes around, and Sheamus basically interrupted Daniel Bryan's celebration ceremony, saying that was a really spoinless way to win the fight there, fella. So the two fight at Royal Rumble. But wait, I hear you cry. If Sheamus is fighting Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble, who's winning the Royal Rumble? Why, that would be this guy. Mark Henry returns at number 30, presses Chris Jericho over his head and throws him over the top rope to win the Royal Rumble. And he's got his sights set on Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble, he just manages to escape with his title by beating Sheamus via DQ. And then at the Elimination Chamber, Daniel Bryan just retains by rolling up Sheamus after Sheamus eliminates every single man in the chamber. So Sheamus has a legitimate beef with Daniel Bryan, Mark Henry has a legitimate beef with Daniel Bryan, and it's all coming to a head at WrestleMania. And before WrestleMania, it's very obvious this is Mark Henry's last shot. Okay? He came back, won the Royal Rumble, but this is his last run. He is beat up. He is only just medically cleared. And this match at WrestleMania is a triple threat elimination match. So there has to be 2 pinfalls. So Daniel Bryan comes out, yes, with AJ Lee. They do the whole kissy thing. He turns around into a bro kick. Mark Henry picks him up. World's strongest slam. Mark Henry pins Daniel Bryan 1, 2, 3 in less than a minute. Now this will hopefully keep the fan outrage levels high, which will hopefully instigate the yes chance, because you can't change that too much, because remember, most of the yes movement came out of this terrible booking of Daniel Bryan. So we keep that terrible booking, but now with him eliminated from the match, it's Sheamus versus Mark Henry. So it's this match from SummerSlam all the way to WrestleMania. We're going to have a definitive answer. And Mark Henry just can't do it. Okay, he's beaten up, he's worn out, he's tired. He kicks out of a bro kick, but he just can't quite bring himself to put Sheamus away. So he shouts at Sheamus, do it, kick me, I'm right here. Sheamus kicks him with a bro kick, he staggers, another bro kick, and then finally Mark Henry goes down. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus wins the title, and Mark Henry slowly pulls himself to his feet and raises Sheamus's hand in victory. Then Sheamus leaves the ring, Mark Henry soaks up the crowd and says that he's leaving. If it was me, I would have Mark Henry retire here, because honestly, since he's come back, they've done nothing with him. And I don't know why. Maybe they just don't feel like he's medically fit to take on a big angle anymore. I don't know why, but they've used Mark Henry for nothing since So why not have him retire at the end of a great angle? You know, he could pick up the mic, tell the WrestleMania crowd that he's riding off into the sunset, just a Texas boy done good. And he actually does a retirement speech for real. And then he walks out, and maybe that's the end of Mark Henry. Or you could just bring him back, but just commit to booking him properly, like the powerful monster that this angle has proved that he can be. And then at Extreme Rules, we get back on track with Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus, 2 out of 3 falls match. Everything's back to normal. So that's how I would have booked Mark Henry's Hall of Pain run. Do you disagree? If so, tell me about it in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can even follow me on Twitter. Here, I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.